All right, guys, it is time to fix Rivals for NHL 23. We've gone through a lot of the other modes, content in Hockey Ultimate Team, but we haven't talked about Rivals specifically. That's what we're going to try and tackle today. Again, these are suggestions that I think maybe have a shot if they are listened to and well received by you guys. They're not completely out of the realm of possibility in terms of them being able to actually change anything. As always, guys, make sure you leave your feedback down below. I will not suggest anything to EA that you guys don't fully get on board with in a landslide. That being said, let's get to work on Rivals. All right, guys, so we're going to fix Rivals. Let's start with some of the things that we just need to get out of the way. We're going to assume that cross-console is a thing. If cross-console is not implemented into the game, then all of these fixes don't matter at all. That is the thing that needs to be implemented immediately, and if it's not, God help NHL 23. But for Rivals specifically, obviously this was where the game was impacted most because there was a glitch at the beginning of the year for about 6 months, essentially, that's, it didn't matter what division you're in. You could match anyone in the first game that you played. And that was because EA was just trying to get you guys into games. If you were in Division 1, you would actually search for like 40 minutes before you found a game because there's 4 separate consoles and there's not a big player base. So let's just assume cross-console is a thing. Overarching things that need to be in Rivals going forward. Leaderboards. I don't know why they were removed. I remember every Game Changer questioning that when they were removed. I think it was NHL 20. It makes no sense, and you need to give some reason to actually win in Rivals. Right now, there is none. That is why it is not an engaging mode. You play online, it feels like chores because you were just trying to get your arbitrary points. If you run into someone good, you don't feel like sweating because you don't receive anything for that other than being able to flex on them on Twitter or Discord, which is just a joke anyways. So a leaderboard needs to be implemented. You need to be able to see how you're doing compared to your peers in each division. You need to see the opponent that you just played. Maybe he absolutely slams you senseless and you're playing a goaltender that you don't know, or maybe there's a couple players that you don't know. You should be able to see your recent games, go and see their lineup. Who do they have? That would be a very, very interactive way to just improve the overall experience in Rivals. It would also give you a small sense of making sure you try and win every game that you are in because there's a number tied to it. There is a record that you have, and everyone takes pride in that regardless if you want to admit it or not. If you went 100-0, everyone on Twitter would know about it, regardless if you're a casual player or not. So a leaderboard, that's a must. That is the start. So cross-console, let's assume that's a thing. A leaderboard is where you need to start. Before you even get into the mode or fix any of the rewards, a leaderboard is the basic entry point of what needs to be implemented in Rivals. You need to start improving the ways and reasons to actually try and win in Rivals so that it is not just chores each week. And the one thing I don't understand is that it seems like NHL and all modes across Hockey Ultimate Team, if you go back 5 years, there's really cool things, and then after 5 years later, it just gets worse and worse and worse. And Rivals has done that. It has gotten so stale to the point that like it is literally it's like playing Animal Crossing. It's a game just to play. You're just doing your chores daily. And that needs to stop. So that is the first thing, and that would be leaderboards. The next is rewards, just in general, because these are now a disaster. They're lame, they're arbitrary, it's an archaic method. It needs to be spiced up. So I've mentioned a couple times throughout this series in fixing Hockey Ultimate Team, there needs to be more guaranteed rewards. Rivals 100% needs guaranteed rewards. It is essentially the only way to play the game online with your full team against other opponents. That is the basis of what online NHL has been. Back when I used to play versus thousands of hours in a year, that was all we cared about was our leaderboard, and that was it, but that meant something. Playing online, it meant something other than just trying to get arbitrary number of packs, okay? So the pack rewards should still stay. However, there needs to be a change to the point system because as of right now, we're going to start with Division 1 and Ultimate because that's the highest point, and then we're going to work backwards. I know I get a lot of flack because everyone seems to think that I just defend the top-end players and I forget about the casuals, and I want to address that and show you how that should work, okay? If you hit Division 1 Ultimate, I think we can all agree, if matchmaking works, there's cross-console and you are matching the big pool of Division 1 players, if you can reach the pinnacle of that, you should get the most rewards. You should be rewarded. Your game experience is very difficult, and if you are able to win in an online mode, separate from squad battle, completely separate, you should be rewarded. So the first thing that I think that should happen is Rivals should be tiered to seasons. It should be a season that is based on the event that is out. I think that events is one of the things that separates the NHL Ultimate Team apart from other modes, okay? So every 2 weeks, we get a new event. It's hype. Everyone comes on a Twitch to look at it, on Reddit, everywhere. You want to see what the new event, the new MasterCards are. Events is the one thing that NHL does that is good, in my opinion. I think that needs to be double down on. So I've talked about it in Hut Rush, talked about it in squad battles. The Rivals rewards should be tied to the event. We're going to take the Superstar Origins event, okay? Let's say it made sense and that all of the master sets were 90 overall at launch of the game. If you can get to Division 1 and you can get to Platinum, okay? And we're going to talk about how you get there. Let's talk about Ultimate to Platinum. All right, in every single division, what you should receive is a choice pack based on the rank and division that you're in. So if you're in Division 1 and you hit Platinum, you should get an 86 overall card if you hit Platinum. An 86 overall choice pack, same card, 6 different positions because you don't want to have everyone having the exact same card. Okay, let's pretend they're all balanced. Diamond, you get an 87 overall card. It is upgraded 1 overall for you. If you can get Ultimate Division 1, you get the 88 overall card. It is maxed out to whatever tier it is, and then that obviously expands given the event and future, and the overalls go up and up and up. Now, the Platinum and Diamond players, they can still upgrade those cards. Obviously, there's going to be a cost to them, but Ultimate should be rewarded for performing the best and not having to upgrade their card as much as the other ones, okay? So everyone still gets the actual card and the choice pack. You've played out your enough games to get into Platinum or Diamond or Ultimate, and then you're going to get a choice pack, a free card that is going to help your team out in the future. Now, for the lower divisions, let's discuss that. It gets a little bit more tricky, but you should still receive a card guaranteed regardless of how you play. So let's say this is where it gets difficult because I don't think Division 10 should get a 75 overall card. And I don't think that the cost should just be, power-up collectibles or coins, because that means that the lesser player has got to spend far more than the better player. And again, they should be rewarded, but I think that the upgrade should be able to happen, much like how I mentioned in X Factors and what I would change to X Factors based on the performance of that card. So let's say you get a Division 10 Ultimate, gets a 78 overall choice pack of those cards, okay? This is the very bottom, okay? But you get Ultimate in Division 10. 78 overall card. You can upgrade that card to an 88. It is going to take a long time based on milestones and performing with that card, or you can speed things up by spending power-up collectibles or coins. It does not matter because if you don't have the time to actually upgrade that card individually, you should have a method that you can use if you want to put coins in or collectibles in that you've got to upgrade that card. That should still be an option to you. But this would make it mean more for the division that you are in. Right now, it just does not mean anything if you were in Division 1, other than the fact that you're going to have a much harder experience for a very, very small upgrading rewards from like Division 4. So after the guarantee reward system, I think that this should be implemented, and then let me know in the comment section if you agree or disagree if that method would work. The pack should be separate a little bit more. If Ultimate in Division 1 gets you an Ultimate pack, maybe make it 2. Okay, tradable. The untradable thing is just such a joke. Get rid of it. Give us 2 tradable Ultimate packs. Help out the economy. There's no cards on the market. I don't care if everyone's team is stacked. The argument for that makes no sense, because if everyone's team is stacked, your team is going to be much better. If someone that grinds the game, like myself, can get just a stupid team, okay, regardless, I'll have a better team than everyone because I play the game the most, put money into the game, all of that, right? It doesn't make any sense that they should be untradeable. If you made all of the cards tradable, there would be more of them, which would drive the cost down. Everyone would have a better team, which would make the game more fun. That argument just doesn't make any sense. So I'm not saying that all the players that can play the most should get the best teams and it should all be tradable. And they should. Casual players as well, if they pull something in their Rivals packs and they took untradable because they're just trying to get more options because there isn't a lot of options to getting rewards, they can't do anything with it other than use it. Get rid of tradable. It's a mess. Make it tradable and then just have the packs tied down. So if you get Division 1 Ultimate, there should be a reason to chase for that on top of the guaranteed card that is rated at the highest tier. Now, let's talk about how you actually get into those tiers. As of right now, it's based on the percentage of the competition that you're in. So right now, Ultimate is if you get into the top 5% of the console or the world, let's say, in your division, you will get into Ultimate. That is a dumb, arbitrary number. And again, as you get into higher divisions, it gets way more ridiculous because the higher division you go, the more hardcore player you have, the more players that play the game more. If you are a better player at the game, odds are you play the game a ton, meaning that if you're in Division 1 and you want to get Ultimate, it doesn't matter if you go 30-0, you will not come close to Ultimate. That needs to change. So what I would recommend is if you get 1,000 points for a win, 500 for a loss, it does not matter how. There should get rid of the 5 goals and all of that nonsense. Just get rid of it. Make it simple. If you are able to get to, let's say, 45,000, that would be 40 and 10. You get into the Ultimate tier. All right, you get into the ultimate tier, you're good to go. You get that ultimate, rewards, all of that. And again, the amount can change. I'm just giving you an arbitrary amount. Diamond is 40,000, platinum is 35, and you go down and so forth. One of the things that one of the issues is you are going to get people that just quit out of every game. Okay, let's just say you just quit out of every game. One, you're going to drop in division, which is detrimental in this system, because if you drop all the way to division 10 and you get ultimate, you're getting the 78 overall card, and you've got to pay it way all the way back up. So that would change and fix that, I believe. But let's address the people that say, they get scored on a couple times, they're in whatever division, and they just sit there, drop their controller. It sucks. And they did implement a change where if you didn't move, they were basically, kicked out, and that was great. However, there should be a mercy rule. If you are absolutely dummying your opponent and his 6-goal lead, let's say, it's done. The mercy rules hit, the game is over, let's move on. That would help people from just dropping the controller. That would help people from staying in the game when they have no shots. And it would just speed things up, and I think it would lead to an overall better gaming experience. Again, let me know in the comment section down below. But that would speed things up to actually get to these reward tiers. Now, another big thing is, even if you are a top-end player, if you can get to 40 wins, if you go 40-0, that's still quite a bit. And I understand, no matter if you only have time to play 40 games, I understand that. No matter what division you're in, because the requirement would still be the same for each division. I think this is where the 2-week season helps. If you go to 75 games, that is still a stunning amount of games, but you have 2 weeks to complete it. A lot easier. That's 25 games less that you would actually have to acquire. The other thing you need to remember is in this system, I would take away the inclusion of rivals points from hutt champs. Hutt champs needs to be fixed as well. Keep those separate. Don't give them half points for rivals, and then you've scuffed yourself from actually getting top-end rivals points, because you've got guys that just grind rivals, don't grind squad battles, and it should just be separate. So 75 games of rivals in 2 weeks, very doable for the player base. It gives you a lot to do, and it gives you a reason to try and win. If you can give players the ability to want to win, it will not feel like a chore. When you match up against someone good, you will not roll your eyes and be like, I've got to sweat, this is dumb, because there is something on the line. You know that if you get 40 wins, you are going to get a very good card. You are going to lean forward. If there is a leaderboard, you don't want to take that L. This is what you need to do, because as of right now, you don't really lose anything for just losing the game, which means that if you get down by 3 against someone who's got absolutely, 7 thumbs, right? It's just boring. You roll your eyes, you call him a sweat lord, whatever. But, if there's something where it makes you want to get involved, get angry, go and try and win, that helps that. Let's talk about divisions as well. I think 10 is too many. Let's again pretend that Rivals has cross-console. Okay, it's got cross-console matchmaking for the entire player base, which, if the entire player base is involved, there is enough players to always have a decent, fueling of the actual matchmaking on the game. If you cut it down to 5 divisions, so let's go 8 and 9, or 10 and 9, or 5, 8 and 7, or 4, and so forth, you go all the way down, that would allow the rewards to not have to be so separated, and you can actually get some separation in the reward tiers. So as of right now, it's like 1 less pack or something, and there's so many tiers and all of that. Remove the confusion of this, right? It would just be a lot more simple, and every time you move up in a division, it would have more impact, because if you move into Division 3, the rewards are much better. You have a shot at the choice pack that is going to be higher overall, so you don't need to grind and get those guaranteed cards up higher. I just think that this would really help out. The next thing that needs to be addressed in Rivals is the ridiculous hutt champs entry point. The reason why it is, and I'm almost positive on this, is because they're trying to force you to play the game more, which is a huge problem that EA has with Hockey Ultimate Team. There is a lot of chores that they make you do to make it so that you think that there's a lot to do in the game, but you're really just spinning your wheels about boring stuff to access other stuff that is somewhat entertaining to you. Hutt Champs entry point. Once you get into Division 2, okay, let's, again, we're under the assumption that your rank, the divisions are, instead of 1 to 10, it is 1 to 5. If you can get into Division 2, which would essentially be divisions 1 through 4, you should be allowed entry into hutt champs forever. As long as you are in those divisions. If you fall out, then you've got to grind and work harder into hutt champs, and hutt champs runs every weekend. So if you fall out of it and you're like, I want to play in it, you should be able to work in division up to from Division 3, Division 2, you will automatically gain entries into hutt champs. I think that hutt champs is a mode. it is the only mode that 100% needs to be tailored to the best player because it is all about winning. It needs to be the most difficult. It needs to be for the ultimate competitor. And if you are under Division 4, you're really just setting yourself up for a less enjoyable experience. Now, the rewards, obviously, that is going to be the main thing, that you can't achieve the rewards for it. And maybe that would be, I would love to hear your comments and things on that, because I know a lot of players that are in Division 8, they qualify for hutt champs, they get into it, and they get to 3 wins if they can, and that gives you something else. But, maybe the rewards are set to a little bit lower. Like if you can't get 5 wins, you don't get a reward. That would be another option. There needs to be more rewards for winning as opposed to just, participating. And I don't mean the people that are trying to participate and you're getting beat, because I understand that. I'm talking about the people that just get in, quit out, because that needs to be removed. I think the one thing I do want to talk about to players that, aren't very good at the game, all right? Obviously, if the rewards are tailored to the better players are going to get better teams, and they're just going to, the thing is going to separate. If you are not winning a lot, then you need to find ways to improve at the game. My entire channel is dedicated to that, and that might be a reason why you're here. But you have to improve the game online. If you do not enjoy playing online against players that are better than you, totally understandable. Maybe you have a 9 to 5, you come home, you want to play a game of Rivals, okay, that's it, you don't really care about it. You probably aren't someone that really cares about the rewards all that much because you just play the game casually. You've got other options. If you go back and watch my squad battles video as well as my hutt rush video, if those changes were implemented, you would have exceptional amounts of ways to obtain content that is not by playing online against Rivals, sweating against players. So just something to keep in mind there. I would love to hear your thoughts on this, though, because there are parts of me over the last couple of years, because of my involvement in NHL esports, that I do tailor towards the better players, and I would love to hear your feedback on if these changes would work. If you are someone that is in Division 5 and below, specifically, I want to hear if you think that these changes would be more beneficial to you, or if you think that they would be worse, and I'm just, I've got Division 1 colored glasses on, okay? So, again, let me know what you think in the comment section down below. I'm going to keep these videos going, and we're going to try and fix every single mode and piece of content that's in hutt. And if you guys really enjoy it and you let me know in the comment section, I can then relay that feedback to EA. But if I don't see an overwhelming support of the ideas, I'm just not going to do it. All right, guys, that is going to do it for me for Rivals. Let me know what you think in the comment section. I'll see you next time. Have a good one.